Okay, so what does therapy and ice cream shops have in common? We need to find out. Dr. Martin here. So when it comes to therapy, you may have to shop around. Like, you should really try before you buy when it comes to therapy. I've had to fire a psychologist before because it ultimately didn't work out. And the psychologist I work with now is amazing. So I have found that these are some really good questions to ask your mental health professional and yourself when doing a consultation session or shopping around for therapists. The purpose of a consultation session is to figure out if the therapist will be a good fit for you and your healing journey. Like, it very much is a journey to achieving whatever you see is like an appropriate level of mental health and well-being. This is typically a shorter session. It's the perfect time to ask questions about the therapist, their technique, and then also gauge your comfort level with the therapist overall. After you found a therapist, you need to ask if they offer consultation sessions. Typically they're 30 minutes. And if so, how long is the consultation session? Does it cost any money? You don't want to assume that the session is free and be unprepared to pay. Also, you need to decide what format you want the consultation session to be in. Is it telephone? Is it video? Or is it in person? There's benefits to all of these options. So here are 3 questions that can be incredibly helpful when you are doing your consultation session. First, let's get to this money. Okay. How much do you charge for a session? Do you offer a sliding scale? A sliding scale is a form of a fee structure that helps to make therapy more affordable for patients. It's based off of your income, and it can also take into consideration like dependents and other things you may have to pay. It can be helpful to identify your therapy budget and then set goals according to how often you're able to attend sessions. It's not always about like how often I can go to therapy. It can be about how often can I afford to go to therapy in the first place. Next. Have you ever worked with someone with my presenting concerns before? Some therapy clinics are actually training clinics. Like, we all have to learn and we all have to train. So you may be receiving care from an intern that is supervised by a licensed mental health professional who has worked with your presenting symptoms before. But that's also helpful to know. And they are also required to tell you if their supervisor, if they are working under a licensed mental health professional under their license. So you should be able to identify whether or not it's a training clinic. 3. What field of mental health do you specialize in overall? Now, this is different from the last one. You may have experience working with a lot of people with anxiety and depression, but you didn't get a significant amount of training in it, and you don't identify that as your specific specialty. I identify my specialty as racism-related stress, Black identity development, and then like anti-oppressive and anti-racist frameworks. But that came from a significant amount of experience and training in that realm. What field do you specialize in? It's not possible to excel in every single mental health specialty. You can specialize in presenting symptoms like anxiety and trauma or racism-related stress. You can specialize in certain populations like children and adolescents and parents or couples. So ask these questions so you can know if this person is the right one for you. You can go into therapy and you can identify during the consultation session, oh, you charge $150 a session, I can't afford that. Oh, you do a sliding scale, I can't afford that. Oh, your location is very difficult for me to get to, do you validate? Oh, it's really hard for me to get to this place after work and the only time I can go to therapy is after work. Those are just logistical questions. Or sit there and do like a little vibe check. Ask yourself, like after the session, did I feel comfortable talking to this person? I find that when I'm comfortable with people, time goes by fast, right? Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, a consultation session. Like, this just went really, really quick. Versus, oh my gosh, if I'm not comfortable with the person or I just don't really vibe with them, I'm just counting down the moments until it's over. How did you feel when you walked out of a consultation session or when you hung up the phone? Is this someone who you feel like you could see weekly or bi-weekly or monthly to help you achieve your goals? Because therapy is very much a collaborative experience. I can have the keys to the kingdom. I can give you the nice, what's it called? Keys to the kingdom, answer to what is life or whatever. But if you feel like you don't like my vibe, if you don't like my personality, you're gonna be like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with my gut on this one, right? Because it's a collaborative experience. Like, you can't have someone that you don't vibe with. No, we are not friends. We are not meant to be like a friend relationship, but the therapeutic alliance, that alliance between you and your mental health professional, that trust is going to help you get to your goals. It's just as important to know what someone specializes in as it is to feel like you have a good vibe with your licensed mental health professional, whether it's psychologist, psychiatrist, counselor, licensed LMFT, was that licensed marriage family therapist, all of that. So hopefully these answers, I gave you the questions. Hopefully these questions help you to get the answers. I got there. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe and comment below. If you didn't like what you heard, still subscribe and comment below, just so that I can give you something to talk about. But thank you so much for coming to our YouTube channel. I am available on Instagram. I'm available on TikTok. You can also go to my website, RaquelMartinPhD.com.